Welcome to my channel. The topic for today is DIPCO-1. So this is a kit that is developed by DRDO, and this is the antibody-based kit for COVID-19. So this kit will work on the principle of microbial ELISA. So let me give you an insight of this particular kit. So coming to the table of contents, I'll give you a little introduction of microbial ELISA even before telling about the details of DIPCO-1, which is developed by DRDO. Because this is the most important thing, how it works, we should know about it. So the microbial ELISA, how it works, that will be dealt first, and then I will give you a detail of DIPCO-1 that has been developed by DRDO. And finally, how to use this kit, what are the basically how to use and what is the benefit of going for this kit, and few takeaway messages. So coming to microbial ELISA, so this works on the principle of, in this particular microbial ELISA, what they have developed. So basically there are different types of ELISA. This is enzyme-linked immunosorbent assay. So I will not give too much details about the types of ELISA, but particularly whatever the type of ELISA is used in DIPCO-1, similar kind of ELISA I will be explaining. So that is indirect ELISA. This is used for detection of antibody. So if a person has been infected with COVID-19, his body will start producing antibodies. So that is what is targeted in this particular indirect ELISA, which is specific to COVID-19 now. So now in the microtiter plate, so we have different types of microtiter plates. So 96 well plates are one important thing. So those are the most common ones used. So within the plate, what it will be done is, in this case of indirect ELISA, the antigen will be coated on the wells. So you can see, so antigen which is specific to a particular infection. So in this particular case, it is for COVID-19. So it's the spike proteins and the nucleocapsid proteins. So those are antigens. So these kind of antigens will be bound to the wall. And finally, once they have bound, they will be intact on the wall. And there are multiple washing steps in this particular procedure. So you need not bother about that. So basically, this kit will be used for the detection. So the serum sample. So once you isolate the blood from any patient or any person whom you want to test, you have to centrifuge the blood sample so that you get the serum. So the liquid portion of the blood, so you can see here, I will show you that again. So if I go back, so you can see the blood is here and this is the serum. So serum will have antibodies. So that serum is added to this well. So if there is antibody specific to that particular disease, it will go and bind to this antigen. So it is very specific reaction. So only if there is a specific antibody to that disease, that antibody will go and bind to this antigen. So there are multiple washing steps in between, so that if there is unbound antigen that is removed, or antibody that is removed, sorry. So then you have the secondary antibodies which is added. So all these are available within the kit. So secondary antibody is one which binds to the primary antibody. So this secondary antibody will be tagged with the enzyme. Okay, and then you add suitable substrates. So when you add substrate, what happens is, when you the substrate reacts with enzyme to give a color change. So that is what is measured. So based on the color change that is formed, we can detect if there is interaction happening or not. So these are the specific examples. So these are few of them. So if you use HRP as the enzyme, that is horseradish peroxidase, if this enzyme is used, the substrate for that is hydrogen peroxide. So in this particular case, the final endpoint will be blue color, and that can be read at absorbance of 652. So there are ELISA readers available. So using that ELISA readers, we can try to find out if the color change, visually only it is available to see, but to know the intensity and to find out the absorbance, you can use a ELISA reader, and multiple samples can be done at a time. Like if you use a 96 well plate, all the 96 readings can be got at a time. So that is the most important advantage of this. Similarly, if alkaline phosphatase is used as the enzyme, for that the substrate will be PNPP, and in that particular case the color change won't be blue, it will be yellow. So basically it is just to show you that if there is interaction, there is color change which can be analyzed. So coming to the detail how it works, I already explained this part where you collect the serum from the blood. So once that is done, as I explained before, the components will be added and the plate, the microtiter plate will be incubated. So you can see here there is a color change in this particular case which is yellow. So that will indicate that it was alkaline phosphatase enzyme that was used and the substrate was PNPP. Similarly, if HRP and hydrogen peroxide is used, it would be blue color. So that can be read using a ELISA plate readers like this. You will get multiple readings at a time. And once you have analyzed it using the ELISA reader, you can do the following analysis, whatever you want. So data analysis can be done easily. The antibody detection can be done. So if there is an absorbance at that particular wavelength, it indicates that there is interaction that has happened. So this will indirectly help you in serosurveillance also. So I'll give you a detail of this later. What is serosurveillance? Coming to the DRDO's kit that they have developed. So this is the antibody detection kit. So this works on the same principle that I explained you, that is the microwell ELISA. So let us see who developed this. So this is the Defense Institute of Physiology and Allied Sciences, that is the institute which comes under DRDO, in collaboration with the Delhi-based firm, that is Vanguard Diagnostics. So it is named as DPAS VDX because two people are involved in this particular kit development. So they have proved that the sensitivity of the kit is around 97% and specificity of this kit is around 99% because they have targeted both the spike proteins as well as the nucleocapsid proteins in the microtiter well. So they have already attached these antigens, and if person is suffering from COVID, the body will start producing antibodies which can be detected using this particular kit. This kit is already approved by ICMR, and DCGI has already approved it, and it is in the stage of manufacture and sale, and it has already started. So this kit that they have developed is a quantitative detection kit. So it just tells you if there is a production of antibody or not for that particular disease, that is COVID-19 in this particular case. So it will not tell you how much antibody is produced. So they have just developed a quantitative type of kit. So coming to the information about DIPCO1. So this kit requires minimum 75 minutes to get your results, and there is no cross reactivity seen with any other diseases. So it is very specific to COVID-19, and the shelf life of this kit that you have seeing here, this kit that they have developed, the shelf life is 18 months. So this kit can be used for 18 months, and with one kit you can perform 100 tests. So you can see that is the advantage of it. And so when you compare the 100 kits per kit, 100 tests per kit, the cost per test will come only up to 75 rupees. So it is very economical. So this kit is not like your home testing kit as we saw the COVID self, the rapid antigen test. It is not of that sort. This is something to do with the laboratories. So the testing laboratories can make an advantage using this. So they can test 100 samples with one kit. So the test per kit will be 75 rupees. So that will be indirectly benefited by the patients also. So coming to how this kit can be used effectively. So I told you it is very, very important, and the most important advantage of this kit is serosurveillance. So this will indirectly detect if you have already having this antibodies in your body. So definitely if a person has suffered from COVID already, we know his body has already started producing antibody against that disease. So it can be used for checking that, because few people would have already got this disease but they would not have known about it when it is mild. So in those cases, if by doing this test you get to know that there are antibodies in your body, so that tells you that you have already suffered from this disease but you were not aware of it. So it might be very mild condition, but still antibody production has happened in your body. So in that way, the measuring of seroprevalence, whether this particular antibody is already there in your body to some extent, that can be analyzed. So that will be beneficial for vaccination drives, because now it has been told that in case you already have been suffered with COVID and you have antibody to this disease, then one dose is sufficient. So that will be very beneficial there to understand how much whether there is a specific antibody, because if you have already suffered and you know about it, then you know antibodies are there. But if you do not know, then this will be a beneficial test which will allow you to understand that you have already developed antibodies here and one dose of vaccination will be sufficient. So that can help in saving vaccines to some extent and using it for the beneficiaries who require it. And also this can be used as a guide for designing and implementation of appropriate containment measures. Because if you know that the seroprevalence is less in a particular area and there are a few cases which are coming up there, so definitely a lot of containment is required so that the spread of this disease can be controlled. So in that way also this kit will be very, very useful. And also it is useful for studying the epidemiology. So how is this disease spreading? Okay, so like if you do this randomly in a particular ward or a particular area, if you do this test and you see that only a few people have got this antibodies, but after some days, if you go and see, you see more people are having it. They should not have taken vaccine, because even if you take vaccine, this antibody production starts. But in a population where vaccination is not given, but only antibody is produced because of this disease, in that way, if you try to check the epidemiology or how fast this disease is spreading, that can be analyzed. So finally, coming to some takeaway messages. This is a very cost-effective kit, and we have seen that how it helps the serosurveillance and how to use this kit for studying the epidemiology of this disease. So if this kit is used for initial studies and later studies, it will be very, very beneficial for bringing up strategies for decision makers, so that they decide whether lockdowns are required in that particular thing, and whether containments are required, like more stringent containments in a particular area because of the spread which is widespread there. So this kind of decisions can be taken easily, and this will be a benefit for those kind of decisions to be taken. So this is a different kind of kit that has been developed by DRDO. So this can be beneficial in that way. So in comparison with the other kits that are available, so this is a simple example to show you a kit that is developed by Jenny. So that is the antigen capture test. So ELISA teaching kit. Okay, it's a teaching kit. Just to show you what is the cost of these kits. So you can see just for 4 experiments, the kit is costing 8,610 rupees. So that means per test it is approximately 2,200 rupees. But this kit that they have developed is for just 75 rupees per test. So you can see how beneficial it will be, and if it is used in an effective way, this can be a very useful kit. Thanks for watching. Do subscribe the channel for more updates.